and they start smooching, chat, and they start just fucking clearing the table, and they go to town the table. No one, he just stands there. He just stands there in the corner watching, chat, because Owen always watches. Hello, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I wanted to let you know not only do I create content in my YouTube channel here, Class in a Glass, but I'm also on Twitch where I play single-player games, multiplayer games. I do movie reviews, cartoon reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Also, it would be a big help if you can check out my Patreon, where you can gain access to audio commentaries, reactions, and the ability to submit questions for my podcasts and videocasts. And all that content can be found in the links below. In the meantime, enjoy the video. But now, my friends, we got to go ahead and get to my scene by scene breakdown, chat, for Gargoyles episode 20, chat, the Eye of the Beholder. We got to do a little flashback sequence, chat. David Xanatos, he hasn't been in an episode in a good long while, but he's back, chat, and he's getting married to Fox. You might recall Fox, chat. She was the leader of the pack, and she was manipulating the members of the pack, chat, because it was part of Xanatos' schemes, and eventually she got out of jail because of good behavior, chat, parole, and it was all part of the fucking plan, chat. Yes, David Xanatos is making all this fucking, money, and he's bamboozling the Gargoyles, chat, but that's just the icing. Fox, she's the cake, and she's got a whole lot of cake, chat, and he's happy because we open up to the David Xanatos' skyscraper estate, chat, his building with the fucking castle on top, and we see Owen, chat, good old, might as well be Alan Rickman. He's serving some nice hot coffee, chat. A little evening coffee after a nice meal. Sometimes you want to end with a good cappuccino, chat, a nice palate cleanser. And he goes and serves the lady first, pours the coffee in her glass, and then he goes over to David Xanatos, pours the coffee in his fucking cup. And David Xanatos, he just fucking stands up. He's like, hey, we should get fucking married. I think that's what we should do. She's like, oh, really? I didn't think you were the marrying type, but that we're the marrying type. He's like, well, I mean, we're genetically compatible. We're clearly intelligent. Physically, we're peak specimens of the human race. And she goes, what about love? He's like, well, I think we like each other as much as, anyone, we're capable of the emotion of love, of that emotion you speak of. Let's fucking get hitched. And she's like, you know what? Let's fucking do it. He's like, great. I brought you this engagement. It's like, not a ring. He wants to go. It's like, no, I brought you this thing called the Eye of fucking Odin. And it has a grand blue gem in the middle of it, and it's your engagement gift. I'll get you a fucking ring later on. Don't you worry, honey. She's like, oh my God, it's beautiful. I'll never take this off. And she puts it on, chat, perfectly centered across the bazungas, across the bosom. He's like, hell yeah. And they start smooching, chat, and they start just fucking clearing the table, and they go to town the table. No one, he just stands there. He just stands there in the corner watching, chat, because Owen always watches. We then cut, chat. It's October 30th, chat. It's October 30th in New York City. Elisa Mazza, she's recently went to a party city, chat. She just got a custom-made costume for the big Halloween bash that's tomorrow, and she's very satisfied with herself, chat. Woo, she's got a little pep in her step. But as soon as she goes to her car, chat, and she puts her costume inside the car, the grocery clerk, we've actually seen appear in several episodes, Gargoyles, he starts running out of his fucking store. He's like, there's a fucking monster in there. Oh my God, it killed and ate the customers. Oh, Jesus. And he keeps running. And Lisa's like, oh, shit, this again. She pulls out her gun. She pulls out her gun, chat. And she goes into the little, the little grocery store, the little delicatessen, chat, little deli store. Oh, terrible. Destroying a private business. I hate it, chat. The guy, it's a mom and pop store. And she fucking goes in and she hears this, like someone's eating something. And she is very quiet, and she sees this giant feral beast, chat. It's a werewolf. It appears to be a werewolf. She's like, fucking freeze. And this thing goes, wow! And it tries to attack her, chat, tries to eat her and scrape at her, but she's like, hell no. And she's like avoiding it, chat, popping a few rounds into it too. But it eventually just fucking scampers off. It gets the hell out of there, chat. And she's like, fucking Jesus Christ. And she walks out. So people are like, are you okay? She's like, I'm all right, I'm all right. Is that thing's been plaguing us for the last nearly 30 days, the entire month of October. And then, chat, we cut to this archive footage of the news. That's when the news starts by all the reporters. And they're like, this is the latest attack by whatever this creature is. It's plagued the city of New York since October 4th. And there seems to be no end in sight. Police, they've been trying to stop this thing, but it seems to be showing up randomly, mostly around places where there's copious amounts of man meat for it to feast upon. And it's like, that's not going good. That's not going good. And, David Xanatos, we see who's watching news as David Xanatos and Owen. And then all of a sudden, fucking Fox, she walks in and she's got the Raphael outfit, fedora, and of course, trench coat. And she looks like she has bare feet. She's got bare feet. They're all dirty. They're all muddy. She's got like blood on her face. This is like all dripping down her neck and bosoms. And they're like, everything okay, Fox? She's like, yes, I was just out for a walk. Everything is fine. Everything's fine. They're like, okay. And she's like, I'm just feeling a little tired. I think I'm going to go lay down. They're like, yeah, all right. And so the David Xanatos looks at Owen's like, okay, well, she's clearly the fucking werewolf, so we got to deal with this problem. Let's go to plan A, whatever that's going to be. Eventually, chat, we cut to the Gargoyles, the clock tower, and they come to life. It's October 31st. And all the Gargoyles very excited, especially, Lexington and Broadway and Brooklyn. They're excited, particularly because this is the one time of the year they really get to walk among New York citizens and be fine because everyone thinks they're wearing costumes. So this is their second Halloween they're experiencing, so they can't wait. But then Elisa stops by. She's like, guys, listen, I know this is like your big special day. You get to walk around with everybody. We can do that, but there's something really serious. I just want to talk to you about it. And Goliath's like, well, you could talk to me at least. So he's like, you could talk to me. And she's like, Goliath, I think there's this, I don't know, it's just going to sound crazy, but like a werewolf. I know. And he's like, oh, Goliath's like, oh no, werewolves are real. Oh yeah, we dealt with them all the time back. And then she's like, really? He goes, have you been dealing with a werewolf? She goes, yeah. He's like, are you okay? And then he takes her hand, chat, because this is when they start really emphasizing that these two are going to fuck, because they do at the end of season 2. And he takes her hand, and it's like, I don't know what I would have done if something happened to you. And she takes his hand. She goes, I'm just glad that you cared enough, that you were thinking of me. And he goes, I always think of you. It's like, oh my God. If I was the other guy, I was like, can you two just get a room already? Can you just pick a corner in the clock tower and just go at it? Jesus Christ, the anticipation, chat. It's salivating. And she's like, listen, we got to try to stop this goddamn thing together. And we might know where it might possibly be. I just have some concerns. And they're like, and Goliath's like, well, I'm happy to help you. Happy to help you. He's like, okay, cool. Eventually, chat, we transition back to David Xanatos' apartment, and it's giant fucking skyscraper, his building, chat. And we see Fox, chat. She's standing up by the window, and the moon's reflecting in her eyes, and it's being reflected into the Eye of Odin, as it's called, chat. And she's like, oh, not again. The bubbly got the hunger. And then David Xanatos walks and he's like, hey, honey, listen, I just wanted to ask you, can I have the necklace back? I just want to get it engraved. She goes, no, I just couldn't part with it. And he's like, I must insist. I need to get engraved. She's like, get away from me. And she's turning into a werefox because her name is Fox, chat. So she's like, literally, she's a werefox. Becomes a werefox. And David Xanatos is like, I knew it. And he takes out a fucking gun and starts shooting the shit out of her. It's like, ooh, at least it's of darts. It's of darts shit. Just pumps her full of just like dart juice. So all the dart juice is going inside of her, but it's having little effect on him. And the fucking fox just grabs David Xanatos and goes, ah, and starts like throwing him around the fucker. He's like, ah. He didn't expect this shit. He's getting a little bamboozled. Eventually, Owen, he comes in. He's like, is it time for me to come in? She's like, yes, Owen, come in. And so Owen gets in there. He starts shooting all the dart juice into Fox, chat, and he comes in with a bed sheet and he wraps it around her, and they're like, punch, punch, punch. They're punching her, chat, trying to please calm down. Like, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. Just punching her, chat, in the face. Eventually, she bursts out of the fucking blanket. And she just jumps out. Oh, that's the thing. She runs out of the room, Chad. She goes down the hallway into the elevator. She just punches it and busts it open. And she crawls down like Spider-Man and shit. And she opens another elevator door. All these security guards are like, holy fucking shit, it's a werewolf. And she just cuts through these guys, Chad. Slices and dices, disembowels them one by one. Just eating them, Chad. And she makes her way out of the building. And Gabe Dantos is like, okay, well, plan A didn't work. Let's go to plan B. I think that'll be better. And Owen's like, agreed, sir. And so eventually we cut back to Elisa Maza. Apparently she just got a hot tip from somebody, chat, that they know the location, the possible location of the werebeast. And we see Goliath, he's reading, apparently they have a book about werewolves. And she's like, you doing your werewolf research? He goes, definitely got a werewolf by the time. She's like, all right, cool. Well, I don't know what to expect here, but I imagine it'd be something bad. I could really use the backup, Goliath. He goes, happy to be here, happy to be here. Let's go. And he takes her and they fly off. Meanwhile, come back to David Xanatos and Owen, and they're going over some readings. They know the location of Fox because they put a tracker on her. In the Dark Juice chat, there's a tracker. And so they microchipped her, and apparently she's at a meat warehouse because Owen realizes because of her werewolf form, she has a very fast metabolism, and she constantly has to eat things in order to maintain it. But eventually, she's not going to have enough food, and she'll just fucking die. And like probably by, less than 20 hours. And they're like, shit, so we got to get her quick. And they're going, yeah, it's very serious. And they're like, all right, shit. And he's like, all right, let's hope plan B works. Eventually, Chad, we cut to the warehouse, and David Xanatos, he's equipped his gargoyle, basically his Iron Man suit. He has his own Iron Man suit armor in the shape of a Goliath's gargoyle, like his form. And so he goes there, and this scene is straight from fucking Predator 2. Remember that scene in Predator 2 where Gary Busey and all his boys, they have that giant meat warehouse, and they've dosed it and all the cold and things, and so the Predator can't keep them. They're wearing the camouflage, the hazmat suits. The Predator can't see them. It's the same fucking scene. Or he's going through here, Chase got this giant fucking gun. He's going to the warehouse, like, looking for Fox, and she hears, now she's eating something, Chad, but she disappears because she senses David around, and he's like, ugh. And like when I tell you, Chad, 2/3, he occupies a third of the screen at one point, and then, she pops up the other 2/3, Chad, and tries to get him, and he's like, ugh, and he just starts pumping her full of dart juice. I don't know what. He shoots her, Chad. He shoots her a whole bunch. She's like, my tummy. And she, like, hits him and shit. She destroys part of the suit, and, like, boom, hits him in the side. The fucking side swipes. She just backhands him. She's like, ugh. Just concusses him. He falls down just like, ugh. And then she's like, nom. She's going to enjoy a ethnically mysterious male meal, chat. And she's right about to take a big old bite of that noggin, but she sees the face and she almost recognizes it. And briefly, her eyes go from this monstrous form to the eyes of Fox. She's like, and she runs away because she's like, she loves this man. She runs away. Eventually though, chat, we cut, and she's like, we see the werewolf is like running outside the fucking meat building, and all of a sudden fucking Goliath and Elisa Maza show up. They go, rah, and they land on there, and Goliath just starts fucking punching this werewolf and shit. They start going at it. Elisa Maza pulls out her fucking gun trying to get a goddamn shot, but you can't, because you just want to accidentally shoot Goliath. And they start fighting. Goliath kind of has the upper hand. I mean, listen, werewolf is very strong. He got really sharp claws, but Goliath's a fucking trained fighter, okay? He's been doing this for a while, for decades. And he's punching the shit out of this thing. He's, he's dipping and dodging and weaving, chap. Boom, boom, boom. Eventually, he incapacitates it. But then David Xanatos shows up. And he's like, wait. Don't kill it. And Goliath's like, why? Because, I have reasons, personal reasons. And Elisa's like, she puts two and two together because she sees David Xanatos, sees this fucking were-creature, this were-fox, this werewolf. And she's like, is this one of your fucking experiments? And he goes, I don't want to say. All I'm saying is that it's personal to me. And, the werewolf eventually goes, it regains its composure, chat. Starts fighting Goliath again, and David Xanatos eventually just fucking runs off. It runs off. And, Goliath, he goes check on Elisa, and she just has her head in her hands like this because she's remembering her brother, chat, when David Xanatos experimented on him and transformed him into a Black Panther bat abomination. It's like, it's not great. And so She's like, fucking Xanatos, you are under arrest. You're coming with me right now. He's like, yeah, it's not going to happen. And he just blasts off into the night sky. And, you know, the guy's like, are you okay? She goes, I'm fine. I just don't want this to happen to anyone else. That could be like a poor person that he experimented on. We have to stop him, Goliath. And he's like, okay, I think I know what to do. And so eventually we cut back to the castle. Go back to Xanatos' skyscraper. He lands on there, and Owen's like, on the plan C, chat, or on the plan C, sir. He's like, yep, it didn't work out. We're gonna have to fucking get the Gargoyles to take Fox down. It's the only way. Only way we're gonna do this. We just have to manipulate them and the making them think I care. Then fucking Goliath's like, already ahead of you, David Xanatos. And he's like, oh shit. And Goliath's like, I am tired. We're fucking tired of you manipulating us constantly. We're done. 100% fucking done. It ain't gonna happen. We're gonna fucking leave. This is your fucking problem. You clean it up. He's like, wait. You don't understand. The werewolf is Fox. The werewolf is Fox, Goliath. And they're like, what? What did you do to her? It's like, I didn't know. I gave her this thing. It's called the Eye of Odin. It's said to bring out the absolute best of the wearer, the makes, shows them for who they are. And I thought it was beautiful and she would wear it, but I had no idea it had transmorphic properties. I wouldn't have given it to her. And it's like, you need to help me. You need to help her. And Goliath's like, well, it seems to have brought out what she really is, a monster just like you. He's like, no, please help me, please. And and Goliath's like, God fucking damn it. He's like, maybe I should. And Lisa's like, no, we said no. He's like, you're right. When you're right, you're right. David, fuck off. We're going to go enjoy Halloween. There's like, no. And they fucking Goliath scoops up Elisa, chat. She gives a little peck on the cheek, and they fucking fly off. They glide off. And David Xanatos like, fuck. This isn't good. I hope I have a plan D or E. Oh, that's what Goliath says. I hope you have a plan D or E, David Xanatos. He's like, shit. All right, we still got to figure something out. And so eventually we get to one of the biggest fan servicey moments of the episode, chat. This is another beloved episode in the series for obvious reasons, because it further, expands upon the romance and feelings that Goliath and Elisa Mazza have for each other. But we cut to this like giant, Halloween bash is going on in New York City. Everyone's like little festivals, and basically it's a carnival. All these little shops are set up, and stands and stuff. All the gargoyles are there, and they're all kind of nervous at first because they're wearing costumes over their Broadway's in the typical Raphael costume, fedora, the trench coat. I believe Lexington is dressed as a pilot from like the 1930s, and Brooklyn I think is a pirate. And they're all walking around. Everyone's like, whoa, it's a costume on a costume. You guys are so cool. It's so imaginative. Wow. And they go, yeah, yeah, thanks. It's really cool. And like, right on, man, right on. And they just enjoy themselves. They're having a fucking blast eating all this food, just talking with, they're actually having conversations with people. And like for the first time, people aren't scared of them because they just think they're regular people. And it's kind of sad because this is like the first time they're actually interacting with people outside of Elisa Mazza, because all the other humans are always scared of them. So it's really like, man, I would love to see like a New York that would actually be welcoming towards the Gargoyles. That would be really unique. I mean, we do get that in season 3, but it's not great. I wanted them to do it over again, chat. But then we get the fucking fan service because we see Elisa Mazza and Goliath walking in down the block, and Elisa Mazza has bought herself a Belle outfit from Beauty and the Beast, like the literal outfit that she wears during the scene where they're dancing in the giant ballroom, chat, like the yellow, and it's propping up the bazookas, chat, just huge fucking chest, it's like Jesus, and she's just strutting her stuff and walking down, and Goliath's like, oh god, and they're walking the same way that Beast and Belle do in the movie. And it makes sense because it's owned by Disney, so they can do that. And Belle's like, I have been waiting to walk down the block with you for so long, Goliath. And Goliath's like, I'm loving this moment, at least. It's an absolute pleasure to do this with you as well. She's like, do you want to dance with me? He goes, of course. And they start fucking dancing, and all the gargoyles watch them. They're going, oh my god, when these two are gonna fuck, right? Come on, when's it gonna happen? But they're just enjoying themselves. Then all of a sudden they hear, ah! Someone's fucking screaming. And they cut to inside this one building, chat, where they got, like, you know, people are serving alcohol and shit. Everyone's like, right now, there's a fucking monster in there. It's eating all the fucking kids. It's like, oh, shit. And, you know, right before Goliath and Elisa Maz are about to smooch, it was going to happen, chat. They're like, shit, what the fuck? It's the werewolf, isn't it? And they fucking go inside the building. Elisa Maz approaches Brooklyn, Broadway, and Lexington, says, guys, we need to fight. There's a werewolf in there. Like, fucking, the werewolf? All right, fine. They put down their stuff. It's like, let's go fight the werewolf. And they get in there. And, you know, Fox is losing her goddamn mind. And they try to, you know, tackle her. But she's like, she's hangry now, Chad, because she doesn't have enough to eat. She doesn't have enough food in her tummy. She's hangry. And she's like, throws Goliath around and throws him into a fucking car. He goes, and she, like, climbs up a fucking rooftop and shit. And eventually, David Xanatos gets there. He lands. He's trying to talk to Fox, but she's like, she's like, doesn't know what she wants to do. Eventually, Lisa Maz gets up there. Goliath recovers. The other gargoyles recover. They try to take her down. Eventually, Goliath's like, okay, she's like in full fucking beast rage mode right now. I got to play this smart. And he notices, Chad, he's by this giant neon sign with some exposed wires. He's like, all right, this is what I got to do. And so he's waiting for her to like charge him. So he ducks out of the way, Chad. He just fucking dodges. He goes, boom, she hits the wires. Just electrocutes herself. And he says, and he tells fucking David, grab the goddamn necklace. And he's like, and he grabs it. He grips it off her chest because it was affecting. If you tried to grab it before, because once it's on you, it's pretty much on you. But thank you, electricity, you know, disabled the spell or something. He manages to rip it off, and she transforms back in her human form, but she's naked. And Elisa Maz is like, oh my God. And Elisa Maz takes off like the bottom portion of her dress, showing off those thick thighs, by the way, Chad. It's like, those thick brown thighs. And she takes up, she's like a holster on her leg too. It's like, oh, it's so hot. You constantly see people draw her and Goliath this way in fan art. I may have checked it out once or twice. It's like, yep, yeah, that's the go-to. And she takes it off and she covers Fox while one of David Xanatos' helicopters lands with Owen in it. And David Xanatos walks over, and he's like, well, I want to thank you, Goliath. I mean, I hate to say this, but now you know what my weakness is. And Goliath's like, only you would say love is a weakness. By the way, give me that fucking necklace. He's like, but werewolf. I was like, no. You're not making an army of werewolves. Give me that fucking shit. God just takes it. He's like, this is mine now. David Xanatos is like, fine. And he scoops up Fox. And she's like, is it over? It's over now, honey. Elisa Maz is like, all right, you two stay out of fucking trouble, all right? She's like strutting her stuff, showing off and everything. She goes up to her man Goliath, just posing, Chad, posing. And eventually, he goes in the helicopter, and you know, even Owen says, you know, sir, Goliath is actually right. I've never seen you look this heroic. And even David Xanatos is like, merely a passing phase, Owen. Merely a passing phase. And then they fly out into the night sky, and we cut back to the gargoyles as they enjoy Halloween chat. Fucking, you know, she's don't have the part of her chat. Everyone's like, holy shit, she's hot. And her and Goliath spend the night dancing away while the rest of the gargoyles spend time among the humans and eating all the food, chat. And that, my friends, is Gargoyles episode 20, In the Eye of the Beholder. A fantastic episode, chat. A very good one. Go versus Fish. Thank you for gifting a sub to Wicked Chick 2000. Good review. Thank you. Thank you, Hamilton Burger. Team Jacob. No. No, it's a great episode. No, it's great. I mean, I just like it. It further, you know, expands upon the relationship of Goliath and Elisa Maz, chat. I really, really liked it. Yeah, both of these. I hope you enjoyed both of these reviews tonight, chat. It was fun. And it's an absolute pleasure to have Goat versus Fish with us. Are you a goat or a fish? I'm a goat, chat. I chosen goat. But now, my friends, we're going to move on to the single-player shenanigans in Mass Effect Legendary Edition, specifically Mass Effect 1.